It's always a pleasure to have your company, and welcome to yet another episode of Inspirational Corner. My name is Rose Okinda. Today we are joined by a friend of the show. His name is Pastor Peter Kimweno. Pastor Peter Kimweno is a lot of things, and I'll allow him just to introduce himself right this minute. Who is Pastor Kimweno?
Yeah, Pastor Peter Kimweno is a Kenyan. I come from Eldoret, and I'm a father, I'm a family man, and I'm a pastor, I'm a teacher. I actually work for the government, and I'm also a counselor. I'm a motivational speaker, I'm a gospel artist, and so much more.
Yes, that is why I allowed yourself to introduce yourself, because I would have said you're a teacher. I would have said you share the word of God as well, but I would not have remembered everything that you've just said. But let's start with teaching. How did teaching come about? Because you seemed to have transcended teaching and gone into many other things.
Teaching was not exactly in my mind, or let me say it was, but not exactly in the form that I ended up with. It came as a matter of last resort. But I think God had a plan, because through that I've been able to expand the teaching from just the classroom teaching to teaching people real issues about real life, and of course the most important thing, which is the Word of God. And the foundation of being a teacher trained under the system of the government has really been of great value, even in the actual teaching of people out there, and especially in church. Yeah.
Having to juggle so many things, maybe somebody would ask, where do you find the time? How do you prioritize? Right now it's the holidays, the August holidays, so you're at home.
Yeah.
Somebody can say, maybe if you wanted to do a song, you have the time to do a song. If you wanted to travel and share the gospel in another place, you have time. But when it's during the school season, and you're supposed to teach, how do you prioritize your time so that you do the things that also matter to you most?
Rose, it's important to realize that none of us is richer or poorer in time. Bill Gates has as much hours as me. Donald Trump has 24 hours, and any other Don at any other corner of the planet still has 24 hours. So to ask where do you find the time is really not right per se. It's a question of organizing yourself. It's a question of setting your priorities right and working with the hours you have to do all that you need to do. Time wasted can never be recovered. If you were to split your life into hours, you would know you do not have a long time to live. And so you would be placed on an urgent point where you would realize that every little time you have counts. So how do I get all the time to do what I do? I simply plan. Before the week starts, I know the government has my time planned for. But the extra hours from 5 in the evening until 7 in the morning, those are mine. And so I work with those hours. I do my reading, I do my correspondence, I do all that. And the weekends, I also plan for them before I actually come for the weekend.
Okay, what you're trying to say is that if you do not plan, then you're planning to fail. Exactly. If you don't plan right. Let's talk about the main reason why you're here. There's an event that is going down, and I want us to go into this event. For someone who's watching you today and is wondering, what event are we talking about? What is happening?
Yeah, I'm a pastor of Outreach Revival Church, which is situated at Kiplombe, a place called Rada, here in Eldoret. And this Sunday in the afternoon, as from 2 to 6 in the evening, we are having a back-to-school gospel concert. We called it that because this will be the last weekend for our students, and most of them will be going back to school on Monday. Many times I have observed out there in the world that people also have some event to go back to school. And many times as a pastor, I have found myself telling my youth in church, no, don't do that, don't go there, don't attend that, don't hang out with so and so. But we do not provide alternatives. And I think that's the biggest problem.
Okay.
So this event came up as a response to a question. You said no to that, but what are you offering in the place of that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like the idea of offering an alternative.
Yeah.
Because I am told, I think somebody challenged me once and said, if we're telling Christians not to listen to, love songs, why can't we sing love songs of our own healthy experiences so that we can also tell about this love, because God is also about love.
Yes.
We don't sing about it, so we leave the secular world to dictate what love is as an idea.
Yes.
What is expected for this? And I think I wanted to say, is it about the youth only, or is it about the youth and the entire people of the church who is being involved heavily in this event?
Our target audience is mainly the youth, but that doesn't look out everybody else. We have room for the adults, we have room for the kids, and of course for the youth. And we have tailor-made it such that it cuts across. That's why we have invited gospel artists from around town. Of course, those who have succeeded tremendously in the field, and those who are also upcoming. We have also invited poets. We have invited motivational speakers. We have invited people who have succeeded in various fields. And of course, some few business guys to take.
Okay. Every time young people are addressed by somebody they look up to, whether it's the gospel artist you're talking about, whether it's the musicians, whether it's motivational speakers, or people who have just made it in their fields, they want to hear the story behind it. Because a lot of young people out there want instant coffee and instant tea. We want instant success. Well, if you would mention in not so many words, what are some of the speakers and the people who will be attending going to share to be able to uplift the young people who will be attending church and expecting to hear from these amazing people?
All right. They will be sharing their experiences in what I would call my story. Behind every glory, there is a story. And when you see the glory, you might be tempted to think there is no story. And so we want people to see the story. Then they will appreciate where they are on the journey and know that if somebody else has made it, they too can make it. So we have invited Victor Mulama. He's a correspondent of Radio Maisha. He's also a student of one of the universities here in town. And he has a story which he will share on that day.
Time is not on our side, Pastor Kimono. This is a very, very short show. It's only 10 minutes. But in case there's a young person who's listening and they want to get to your church, just give them the direction, when they should be there and how to get there.
Right. Sunday afternoon, between 2 to 6 p.m., we invite you to Outreach Revival Church, Kiplombe. And you just have to go to KVDA and take the vehicles that go to a place called Rada and ask them to drop you at Sunrise. It's 30 shillings away from town. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope that it will be a great attendance and that the young people will have a testimony for what you would have done there. And that is it on the Inspirational Corner, and I hope you were inspired. If you're a young person, please find your way there. Until next time, it's goodbye from all of us here.